Today, I want to talk about the growth gap itself, the very subject, the very name of my channel. So, let's spend some time discussing what is a growth gap and how can it help you with your life, with your dreams, with your aspirations, and with your own dreams that you are trying to build. You see, every person, every human being, from the day it's born till the day it dies, gets better every day. Tries to do things which will make them better than what they were yesterday. From a child who gets on a tricycle and tries to manage its way around a little corridor to an older person who then looks for other type of help. Every stage of our life, everywhere where we go, everything that we do, we look to better ourselves. We look to be better than what we were yesterday. And that, to me, is the part of growing. And that growing, and that from where you are and where you want to be, that is the growth gap. So, it's so fundamental and it is such a requirement in our life. It is such a great thing that we can do that will help us every day grow better than yesterday. So how do we do this? What is it that requires? What is that we need to make ourselves get better from yesterday to tomorrow, or from yesterday to today? What are the aspects? What is it needs? What are the fundamentals? What is the foundation that, you see, when we come to this world, we come with our parents, and this is where our early childhood training begins. Then we go to school, then we study, and then we go to work, either we're as an apprentice or whatever we do. We keep on learning something. But mostly of the time, what happens is that we get stuck with what we have learned, and we take that in our mind as granted. So as much as we want to grow, as much as we feel that we should be doing something else, as much as we feel that there are other things that could happen in our life, we get stuck where we are. And therefore that growth gap keeps on getting bigger and bigger and does not get filled. So you have your dreams, you have your aspirations, you believe you can do it, you want to do it, you want to go forward, you want to do a lot of other things, but then you just don't know how to execute. And the reason you don't know how to execute is because you have learned certain things. And so that's why if you go through my channel and if you go through my early videos, you will find out that this is why what I have been trying to do is going through item by item, trying to say to you as to how some of the habits, they get part of us. How do we undo it? How do we, and what is the reason why do the habits become part of our habits? So there's so many questions, and yet the answers are very, very simple. The answers have always been simple. It's just that we get bogged down. And when we get bogged down, then we don't understand. So and the purpose of the growth gap has always been to try to explain in simple words, nothing, no jargons, no fluff. We talk about simply what it is in the life that we want. What is it, and what is it that will give us what we're looking for? What is it that will deliver to us what our desires are, or what that we think our capability is, and yet we are not doing. So here are some of the questions that a lot of people ask. They say, hey, how do I build discipline? How do I motivate myself and then keep motivated? How do I get the emotional mastery? A lot of people say, wow, I get upset. Something happened, I get upset. I cannot control myself. I don't know. People say, well, that's my nature. But that's not your nature. This is just something, this is what you know. This is something that you can change. What is my purpose? What is my passion? What is my purpose and passion? Why am I here? What am I trying to do? Again, another question. Such a great question that we ask ourselves, and yet we are unable to answer that question. Then the confidence building. How do I build confidence? What do I do with my life? How do I build confidence to go do what I want to do? How do I become, I know I can become a great entrepreneur. I am a great entrepreneur. I know I can do things, but I don't have the confidence. And then how do I get a success without burnout? And on and on. These are so many questions. All these questions are so valid because we're human beings. We're very curious. We see around, but yet we are stuck. And I use that word even loosely because what happens is those chains have become so stronger on us that we just don't realize that we are in a rotation. We are in a complete, keep on rotating the same old mistakes, the same old pattern, the same old mindset, which we know we can get out, but we don't. And that is the growth gap. That is where you need to start working on yourself. You need to start cleaning up those old cliches. You need to start walking away from the old perceptions that you had. You need to start just resigning from where you were on a constant basis. So that is what growth gap is. The growth gap that will teach you to become neutral to begin with, to become neutral. Then you think about it and then you start moving towards where you want to move to, where you want to go to, what do you want to do, what do you want to accomplish, how you want to accomplish it. It'll all come because until that foundation, because you see what happens is like when you look at a building of a house, when you see a foundation is dug and then a cement is poured into it. Now that cement, once that cement is poured, it becomes that strong foundation. It is the same thing with the human mind. We keep on pouring cement on our foundation, and then we say, okay, this is what it is. But the good news is that this particular cement is changeable. So scientists have talked about neuroplasticity. It has been proven that the people can change. So there is so much that you can learn all by yourself, on your own, by just giving attention to so many things, so many small things. And this is what I teach. This is what I try to do. This is what I try to talk about. I have lived a life which has been full of adventure. I have done so many things in my life. I have been an extremely successful business person. I have been an extremely successful I've been a successful executive. Have purchased companies throughout North America, Europe, Asia. I've done a lot of these things, and now what I'm trying to do is explain it to you that everything that you want is achievable. And it's achievable only when you set your mind to it. And you will set your mind to it when you start giving attention to the fundamentals, giving attention to what are the smallest things. This is no there's no magic to it. There's no such thing as well, my parents was this, so this is how I am. No, there's much more to it. It just keeps on going only because it has been poured as the foundation in your head. So if you can start chipping away at that slowly, one item at a time. Like the questions was, so how am I going to build discipline? What am I going to do? Well, I live in an environment where it's very difficult for me to build a discipline. Let's talk about it. Let's start thinking about it. Let's start being aware every time that you feel that you don't have the discipline that you're looking for it. But unless you're aware of it, unless you start being aware that there was discipline, but this is not the discipline you're looking for. You're looking for a different discipline. You're looking to do things differently than how you did it. Yes, that too was your discipline. But that's the discipline that is holding you back. It's the same thing with the motivation. I mean, say how many times a lot of us have this habit of getting up and saying, we are going to do, we're going to conquer the world. We're going to start a business. We're going to go talk to somebody. We're going to go find that particular job. We're going to study that particular subject. We're going to go to the particular university. But then 2 days later, that motivation goes away and then comes back again. Just talk about people who wish to travel to other country, people who want to go out and do something else from one country to the other country. It's again the same thing. I want to do it. I want the voyage. I want to travel. I want to go study abroad. And then all of a sudden that goes away. Why does that go away? That becomes the question. Why cannot we keep the motivation going? Because what is happening is in your environment, there's just so much distraction that you don't see as a distraction, but it is a distraction to your own particular motivation. So there's so many factors, but they all come from your upbringing. That all comes from your perceptions. It all comes from what you're given to believe, and you continue to live with that. So, how do you get emotional mastery? How do we do it? What is it that requires? So these questions we will discuss on a continuous basis. What it does, what I want to do is just keep on bringing to your attention that there's much more potential, there's a much more possibilities, there's much more that you can do. Because if you're listening to this and you're saying, but I try and it's not happening, but you're listening, that means you are interested. That means you want to know about it. And I am going to bring that information to you. I'm going to tell you what is that you need to have in your own mindset. You see, it's a very simple thing. It's really, truly the simplest thing that you can do for yourself. But you have to do it. You have to learn to unlearn your bad habits. You have to have the mindset that says that I am aware of what I want to do. You have to have a mindset that says I'm going to consistently motivate myself, that this is what I want to do, that this is where I want to go, that this is what my destination should be. You see, I came to Canada, I was an 18-year-old young man. And after so many years, finally I wrote my book. I wrote my book, A Matter of Destiny, Passion or Wish. Is it your passion? Or is it just something you are wishing for? How do you make your own destiny? How do you make your own destiny? just by passion, just by wishing, or is it something that you need to execute? Is it something that you need to do? You see, we will discuss things such as, so many times people talk about, well, if you manifest, it'll happen. And that's such a wonderful thing to manifest something. It's such a wonderful thing to dream of something. But then what steps are you taking? See, what is the practical aspect of it? How? So I will talk about that. We'll discuss those patterns. We'll discuss as to what will take you to the next step. You know, so many times, more than often, we know the answer. We know the direction we want to take. We know what we should be doing. And yet, so many times, we just pass any good opportunity that comes to us only because of one reason. That's because whatever we've been taught, however we're taught, we live with those perceptions. So my purpose is really to discuss with you the simple fundamentals, the simple rules that will change your mind, that will change that foundation, that'll crack that foundation that has been so much have been interned in yourself, so much entered, so much so that you are not able to see the difference. So that's what growth gap is. Growth gap is every day we are trying to grow. Every day we want to get better than what we were yesterday. Now, if we can find the way to continue to grow to our own liking, and it is not very difficult. What is difficult is to begin. What is difficult is to keep on avoiding it. What is difficult is to keep on saying, I will do it tomorrow. See, till you, and until and unless you yourself take that particular step, it will not happen. So if I can help you work on that by giving you simple examples, by telling you what are the fundamentals of how you are going to have a success without burnout, or how you can build confidence that stays with you, or how you can find purpose and passion in your life, because there is a purpose, because there is a passion. I've come from a very, very poor country. I've seen people do such great things and go to the heights. And these people have come from basically nothing, and they have conquered. They have come out and they've done such great things. So many stories. These are the same human beings like you and I. And yet they have done it. Not because they had any special. It's been proven. It's none of these people. Everyone in this world who has done or accomplished something, none of them have anything different than what you and I have. But they were able to do it. So that is the growth gap. And this is what I want to talk about. Now, if you know somebody who needs to see this, please show it to them. Please subscribe to my channel, The Growth Gap at Aslam Khatri. The whole purpose of this channel is to teach you, is to put in front of you what is available, is to put in front of you what I have learned all my life, what I've learned through books, what I've learned through practical hard knocks, what I've learned through my own failures, what I've learned through my own accomplishments, my own growth, my own happiness. I have learned at every step as to how, and today I'm here to talk about it. So till next time, just be aware that you have a potential much greater than what you think. Be aware that things that you are thinking in your mind, things that you think you can accomplish, yes, you can accomplish. No, they're not just dreams. Those are true realities. Those realities will help you grow, help you go to the next stage in your life and make you a better person. Make you a better person so you can then help other people. So you can be a great help to your own family. So you can do things for the humanity. Because that's what it is. It's always paying forward. That's what I am trying to do. It's always paying forward. It's what I've learned. What I have learned through my lifetime is what I want you to learn. What I want you to know. To learn is up to you. To follow it is up to you. But I want you to know. So till next time, I'm Aslam Khatri, wishing you all the best. We will continue talking about the growth gap. We'll continue about making you grow. Thank you very much.